Next up on the agenda is me. I am speaking 3 times. I have little speeches, not quite the long ones. And I'm going to give a little history of the Jefferson area Tea Parties, well, the history of our constitutional advocacy. You know, it's really following on my first talk, which was why a constitutional day celebration. All right, we do the tax day rallies. As I mentioned, we are the Taxed Enough Already party. Our tax day rallies certainly are about taxes, and they're about the burden that we are placing on our children, our grandchildren, and ad infinitum into the future with our fiscal irresponsibility. One recurring theme of all of our tax day rallies, however, has been speakers have lamented the flouting of the Constitution. Sam just, you know, gave us a litany of just some of the recent irrespect or disrespect of the Constitution. 4th of July celebrations. Yes, we have focused, but not exclusively, on the Declaration of Independence. Speakers have given past reminders, excuse me, of past generation sacrifices that have been made to secure liberty and freedom, going back to the Revolutionary War and every conflict that we have fought in ever since. And we always tend to think of that around the 4th of July. You know, we have enshrined the Declaration of Independence in our hearts. We also refresh our commitment to securing liberty and freedom for ourselves and for our posterity. And the refrain during the 4th of July celebrations can be heard time and time again: we the people. This way. It's my fault. I said place the podium this way. When we did it on tax day, we were facing that way and everybody was down here. So go figure. Now it's raining. All right. Anyway, October 2011, just after the earthquake that hit our area, we had a free speech rally, First Amendment rally, and it was twofold. We held it in McGuffey Park, McGuffrey, right? McGuffrey Park, for 2 reasons. One, to uphold the First Amendment, our right to free speech. And secondly, to assemble peaceably and to petition the government for redress. Y'all remember Occupy Charlottesville? Anybody remember them? Well, the media billed us as a counter rally to the Occupy Charlottesville. Not. We held it almost exclusively to highlight the hypocrisy and liberal bias the city government was demonstrating in allowing the Occupy movement the almost free rein. They were granted free extended permits with no requirement for insurance, while we have been paying permit fees and carrying costly insurance, which makes up about 70% of our entire budget. our interpretation was that, yeah, the city government recognizes free speech as long as it's speech that the city could find sympathy with. And while we were at our constitutional activity, we raised close to $1,500 for the victims of the earthquake in Louisa in less than 2 hours. We might be best known for our opposition to the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, that's been mentioned just a few times. As we staged protests outside then Congressman Perriello, we took bus trips to DC with citizens from all across the country. We went to all the town halls that we could, speaking our position and trying to discourage support for the passage of that law. What we were largely protesting, and this may have gotten lost, was truly the assault that legislation was going to be on our liberty, on our individual freedom. Most assuredly, the ballooning size and scope of the federal government, their reach into our private, personal lives, and of course the redistributive nature, the redistributed wealth. And it certainly was a violation of the 10th Amendment, but I'm not going to tear out a page of my Constitution. Another First Amendment infraction that we took part in recently was the religious freedom rallies that were held here. First Amendment. And we do not endorse particular faiths. We endorse upholding the Constitution for people to be able to have the freedom to practice religion however they choose. All of the candidate forums that we hosted, we focused our questions on the individual views of the Constitution and how he or she would handle some of the pending issues in the framework of the Constitution. Local issues. Board of Supervisors, City Council meetings where there have been deliberations on public policy are on the agenda. It is our duty of citizens, as citizens, to give voice to our views to the government. In essence, whatever actions we engage in as an organization, be it our monthly meetings, our rallies, our protests, our celebrations, which are all out in the public for everyone to see, we do so with the confidence that we are upholding the First Amendment guarantee of free speech and to petition the government. We therefore are always shocked when we find ourselves being characterized as radical, extreme, and most recently, the biggest creep out of the 21st century. Unbelievable. Okay, time for my trivia question. This one might be easy too. What person answered the mayor of Philadelphia's wife when she asked, "What is the new government?" You didn't even let me tell you what the response was. What was the response?